we're going to have a fun video today because we're hanging out with the goofiest goofy ever. What's up, my guys? What's up, Goofy? How's it going?
What's going on? What's going on? How you doing?
I'm doing well. So what are we going to talk about today? We're going to talk about why you're not rushing to get Doom. Is that pretty much what we're going to talk about today? So we're going to
essentially,
we're going to say, should you rush to get Doom? Should you not rush to Doom? Should you plan to get Doom? Because I don't. Well, that's a bunch. Those are a lot of questions, right? We're going to talk about all of them.
Questions.
Yeah.
Good
so
ones.
First things first. Are you rushing to get Doom? And tell me why you are not rushing to get Doom.
Yeah, I'm not rushing to get Doom. I don't feel like where I'm at in the game right now, he's gonna be as impactful. Now, don't get me wrong. He's a good character, and I know that he's very good. But
right.
I'm not really dealing with a lot of Dooms right now on my arena shard, and I'm easily staying under 100. You know, in arena, I'm fine with 100. I know some are pushing for like top one. It's fine by me to just get top 100. Also, I'm not doing Doom raids, so I'm like, I know that he has impact there, so I'm like,
okay,
so I don't really feel the need to rush.
So I'll say this. I think there's a lot of people that have said the same thing to me. Is like, I'll get Doom when I get him, and I have one condition on that. Doom is not going to happen accidentally. So tell me what you're doing to get Doom without rushing it, because if you do nothing, it just won't happen. It's a very deliberate event to get Doom. So tell me the process that you have for getting Doom right now before we talk about why you should get Doom, why you should not get Doom.
Yeah, so the process that I'm doing right now is basically I'm purchasing all the G15 pieces that I need, in the supply store. I'm using my war credits to also grab those G15s. The RTA pass, I only purchase it really to get, the shards are cool, but I really primarily purchased the RTA pass so that I could get that G15 gear. On top of that as well, I do have my 16 characters that are highlighted on my roster in the in the PvP favorite section, and basically I'm farming, whatever. I have them mapped out on a spreadsheet, what I need, and I'm grabbing the isomers, farming the isomers. I'm farming the focus catalyst. I'm grabbing pretty much all the origin gear that I'll need, as well as of course the G13 hero uniques that I need as well. So although I'm not rushing to get into it, I am actively preparing myself to get into Dark Dimension 4 to eventually get Doom.
Yeah, and now that I think about my first, I want to talk about Doom and why he's good and the advantages to Doom. But if I look back at the money that I've spent in getting Doom, I did spend more than I think I should have. And if I was to redo it again, the only money that I would spend on getting Doom would be the RTA Battle Pass. If I was to, and then I would deliberately buy in the supply store as I see the 15s that I need, and then I would use my war currency to get that there too, and I would open up the War Orb 2
War Store
Orb 2, and that's it. I wouldn't be refreshing the stores. I wouldn't be buying those horrible $25 packs. I wouldn't be buying that $50 pack in the store that sells 15s. You know what I mean? No. Yeah. I mean, I think okay, because we talked about a little bit in my video is that the thing about Doom is that I think I'm more impressed with Silver Surfer.
But Silver Surfer's damn good,
right? So, you have a 4 Silver Surfer right now, right? And
G14.
And how painless was that compared to Doom so far? And I'm telling you, he's more impactful, in my opinion, in different ways, right? He's a different character. But tell me why you love Doom or Silver Surfer right now.
He's amazing. I mean, he's a stat junkie, right? I mean, he just has amazing stats. Even at 3-3, he was amazing, and then 4-4, he annihilates, I'm using a hybrid team right now with him and Sinister and Emma, and to pretty much stay under 100 in arena right now. And I can't wait to get him to G15 because he's going to land those. Well, he lands them anyways. And I'll tell you this right now. You don't need the hero cosmic ally nearby him for him to be good. He's insane by
no.
himself.
People say, "What team should I use for Silver Surfer?" And it's like, well, if you want to get some extra synergy for Hero Cosmic, which in my opinion would be like long shot, right? But you really don't need to like do Invisible Woman or anything like that. I mean, you're quite okay without it. Now, I want to. So I gotta say, for me, there's two situations where I feel that there was a tremendous amount of value with Doom, and the first one is in the Doom raids. He's just vital in the Doom raids because of he's having the tech and the Mystic tag, and so I'm finding him to be very good there, and I'm getting a lot of value from that. The other one is on offense in war, and you can see right here I'm running actually DD4 right now, and this is finishing up the last part of the city, and I believe we're going to get through it now when we have this. Let's see. But what I want to show is this footage right here that I took in war from the other day, and we're going to switch over to that. So this was a 524 Doom team with a 700K Pimtech team. So it's not, the defense is nothing special, but I want to assure you that every time I've used, and this is a baby Doom, every time I've used this team, it was like no headache. And I get the feeling that a lot of people are expecting Doom to be like invincible on defense in Arena and invincible on defense in Alliance War, but he definitely is too tappable because he has long cooldowns. And I'm finding that as long as I use a hybrid team, I'm not having a hard time in beating them in my arena. Like I can't use Black Order. I've got to mix it up and use Zemo and Silver Surfer and Phoenix and Emma and then somebody else, right? And then I get through it, right? But if I just, the thing is that it doesn't necessarily work with Black Order. So I'm playing this footage because he makes it look easy. Like, look at that. And then also being able to get through, putting a Disrupted on Ghost very quickly is also kind of a big deal. And the other thing that's interesting about this team too is that, when Doom pops off, and he gives 300% turn meter to himself and the highest damage, it's going to be Thing, and Thing is savage. He's savage. And so, and this is not the most impressive battle, but this just happens to be the one that I recorded, and he just goes off. So I feel like the value of Doom is being able to win almost any match on offense in war, especially if you have an upgraded Fantastic Four, and then also in the Doom raids. But if your alliance is in 7.5, you told me earlier that you're crushing it with Astonishing X-Men at 330K, right?
Right, exactly. I'm looking at this matchup that you're doing right now, and I'm like, this is actually really good, just because the Thing is a big damage dealer, but he is extremely slow. So getting that turn meter.
Yeah. and he's at like gear tier 12. I mean, I imagine if I took him to like 14, then and so this every single matchup I've done with this team, it was absolutely decisive and just wrecked nerds, frankly. And so and then people, of course, are doing a lot of different teams on defense with Marauders and things like that, and that's to trick up the opponents, but I think he's definitely not invincible is the point. Right. And so I don't see the rush to get Doom necessarily, but I do think that there is a lot of value on offense in war and also in the Doom raids. But if your alliance is not doing that, I just don't see it. So how much longer do you think it's going to take for you to get through Doom, and what is the strategy you're doing to get Doom?
Yes, I would say it's hard to say, right? Because I don't know fully what Cosmic is going to look like. And the characters that I'm bringing into Cosmic, I wouldn't say that they're a formidable team. I mean, it's Hela, Proxima, Minerva, and, Thanos, right? Now, I'm doing a very different strategy. I'm waiting until I get all of my Cosmic global characters into gear tier 15 before I start Dark Dimension, because I just don't want to start it and then I feel like the first 6 nodes aren't going to be that difficult because I'm bringing in Emma and Sinister and Ghost. I just don't feel like it's going to be that complex based on what I've seen so far. So I kind of just want to. The cosmic section is probably the biggest grind, and city, of course. And I think legendary is a little bit of a grind. This just based on what I've seen so far. So my strategy really is let's wait until I get all my cosmic characters, cosmic and global characters up to 15, and then I'll enter on into it. And I just the biggest thing for me, I didn't want to bring in bad characters. I just didn't want to bring in bad characters. I didn't want to bring in Sabretooth. I didn't want to bring in Captain America. I didn't want to bring in Black Widow or Hawkeye. I just didn't find them or think that they were going to be, incredibly valuable outside of, Dark Dimension. They can do stuff in Dark Dimension, don't get me wrong. Cap is great. Black Widow can be helpful with her stuns. I think Hawkeye is actually a little bit more helpful with the blinds, and if you're using them with ghosts, being able to extend blinds and things like that. But I just didn't want to waste and put orange gear on characters that I was not going to find impact for outside of Dark Dimension, and that's the reason why I chose, hey, I know Emma and Sinister are both mutant, and that's tough to start with.
Right.
But I'll rather use those characters because they're going to have impact for me in Arena. They're going to be great in War. They're going to be good in other areas. That's just kind of where I'm going and my thought process on Dark Dimension.
I found that the first 3 stages in Global probably the easiest. The first 6 stages are probably the easiest in Dark Dimension 4, and it was pretty much a function of Ghost and Mr. Sinister, and anything outside of that was just it's like I think I went in with the same characters you're taking in early, Emma and Zemo, and I found that even if my Emma and Zemo died, as long as Ghost and Mr. Sinister was there, Mr. Sinister got his clone army started. Those nodes just went off, and so I think there's more planning required on the cosmic and the city side, and unfortunately, there's not a lot of thinking that goes along with the city. Other than you need a lot of symbiotes. You could see right here, I'm running 4 symbiotes in Punisher, and it's not going well. You know what I mean? It's just and it's a lot of try hard. Strategies right here of and the value to Punisher here is I hope that Punisher dies and not the other ones. You know what I mean? I'm literally just gonna go into this node over and over and over again and hope that my Punisher dies rather than one of my symbiotes because Black Bolt is over there. If he does the finishing blow, they're not going to get revived from Antivenom. So it's really and so that means as far as bio goes, I don't think you can waste. I don't think anybody should be wasting any using any resources on bio characters other than symbiotes for initial.
Symbiotes.
Yeah, and symbiotes have so much value. I mean, especially in Alliance Wars. Now, they have been superseded to a certain degree with Astonishing X-Men. I mean, it's a lot easier to get Astonishing X-Men to 400K to run through U7.5 than it is to get symbiotes up to 600K. I mean, because that's almost what you need to get symbiotes to work in 7.5 X-Men. But as soon as you start doing Doom, you're gonna need the symbiotes again, because that's 100% about having near 15 symbiotes across the board to be able to get through the bio parts, and then you just need to have the symbiotes. And so by taking up bio characters other than symbiotes, it's largely a waste because they're not going to be used once you get into the Doom part, because that's just going to be dominated by symbiotes. So I don't think there's a rush. And if I were to do it again, I wouldn't do anything other than the RTA Battle Pass, which is, it truly annoys me that we have 2 Battle Passes in the game and that it's $40. But if you're going to spend $40 on this game in a month, that's where to spend it. I don't know what to tell you. How much money a month do you think you're spending a month right now?
So right now, it really all depends, because it depends on if I want to buy a character or not. But at minimum, I'm spending probably, 40 to 50 now, right? Because of the Strike Pass and the RTA Pass. Because although I don't think there's a lot of value in the Strike Pass, I do find a lot of value in the RTA Pass. The Strike Pass can help though, because you do, at least for me, I have the Orange Elites, which can lend some of the important hero uniques that I need, the G13 superior uniques. And I do also get some extra Orange Gear raid orbs. And I will say this, for, Dark Dimension 4, at least that's the planning aspect of it, you got to watch not just the G15s, but you also got to look at your catalysts, like your stat catalyst, your focus catalyst, your the focus and the damage catalyst and the health catalyst, I think, are the three biggest ones that I had an issue with. At one point I was short like 2,300 just focus catalysts, and if you look at my roster, it's a very I have very little G14s and G15s. I mean, I have very select characters that I spend those on, because like you asked me the question. I'm not a big spender. I'm someone that spends $40 to $50 a month. Sometimes I'll spend $100, depending on if there's a new character. Now, if there's a X-Men team or X-Men characters, then you might get me to spend
I understand that too, right? Yeah,
but that's nostalgia for me, right? But for the most part, I'm trying to budget between at least under $100 a month, and realistically try to stay within $50 a month, So for me personally, it's about planning. It's looking at everything that you have going on and actively like looking at what you need, putting it on a spreadsheet if you can, but focus catalyst, damage catalyst, isomers, those origin gear, you may want to start farming those on a day-by-day basis, to really get your 16 characters in there.
Yeah, it's not going to happen by accident, and you're gonna need to do some planning, that's for sure, because otherwise it's just gonna drag out, and and it's just it won't happen unless you plan, for sure. Right. It will not happen if you don't plan. All right, so let me ask you one question before we go. So if you were not gonna spend on DD4 at all, let's say you were not gonna buy the battle pass, what would you suggest for people to do to accelerate getting into DD4, given that there's almost, needs more than 1,000 15s to finish it, right?
Yeah, you gotta utilize all the other resources that you have available to you, right? You gotta use your gold to grab, all the G15s in the supply store. You're probably gonna want to use your Ray credits on things like your stat catalyst, your orange stat catalyst, and maybe some of that origin gear too. The options are slimmer. Using some of your farms, maybe using half of your farms every day to, farm some of that's what I'm doing right now. I'm farming, focus catalysts a lot, and as a part of my daily farms, I'm farming, isomers as a part of my daily farms. Your options are a lot more limited. And you're probably going to want to get into an alliance that's doing Greek raids. We want to get to an alliance that's doing Greek raids and get in 100% so that you can get those extra orange elite orbs, and also being able to U7 100% so that you can also get those, those extra gear raid orbs too, because those are going to be vital and essential, to be able to get the catalysts and, all the other orange gear that you need. It's also going to take you probably at least half more time longer, right, than probably someone that is willing to spend a little bit.
Yeah, and like I said, if I were to do it again, I think the only money I would spend is on the RTA pass, because that's going to help a lot. And there's other stuff in there, especially if you need the character. If you need the character, that's great. There's a bunch of 15s. There's also 500 cores, and there's some other things in there. But mostly, when I think about the RTA battle pass, it's cores, blah, 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 maybe a character I need, and 15s, blah, blah, blah. And and it's the same thing that's true of the strike battle pass. I mean, it's literally 500 cores, blah, 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 Silver Surfer. You know what I mean? It's just, there's nothing else to it. I mean, and then, with the 500 cores, I value at, probably $6-7 somewhere in there, right? And so, it's really $15 if you need the cores, so anyways, and so that's the way it is. So we just finished up the city right there. Work. We just finished up the city there. Now we can move on to Legendary, and I can move away from my baby Dune. Okay, head over to Goofy's channel, and we're going to talk about a little bit different take on this for some of the planning and some of the strategies that you're going into. We're going to specifically get into your roster over there and what you're doing to get into Dimension 4. Anything you want to say before we go?
No, I mean, just understand that this game is a marathon. It's not a sprint. It's at the end of the day, you just got to do proper planning. If you're not willing to spend, you got to plan things out. And even if you are willing to spend, you still got to plan it out anyways. I have a philosophy: don't rush to do anything in this game, because that's how you end up, spending too much gear or spending too much money.
Well, real talk. The real value in this game is if you can be patient, and because the main way that fear of missing out is a great motivator in this game, and it seems like they're that's the reason why they've had inconsistencies on when legendary events arrive. They want to make it as unpredictable as possible and get you to a situation where the event's going to end, and you need to buy into the fear of missing out. But if you plan and are ready and you're not worried about waiting and being patient, I think you could not spend it all if you didn't want to. I mean, it really, right. I mean, that's where the real value in this game is. If you can move forward efficiently without spending money. I mean, I think that's actually a whole game in itself and a lot of fun. Also, some of the people that I know that enjoy this game the most and get the most satisfaction out of the playing game take that approach, which I can definitely appreciate. For example, a player that's in my chat constantly called the Fool, and he, PHOLL. Anyways, big shout out. Anyways, guess what time it is?
What time is it?
It's time for the giveaway.
Ooh, let's go.
I really hope you liked this video today, because if you did, you're in luck. For every single person that likes this video, you'll be getting for free in your account an 8-star fake Silver Surfer. Woo! This is not a scam. It says, Mom, can I have a Silver Surfer? No, son. We have a Silver Surfer at home. Silver Surfer at home. Wow.
Excuse me as I move to type in and get to enter into that giveaway.
Yeah, did you like that Silver Surfer? You said that. I don't know, man. I don't know about that. Yeah, that was me dressed up as Silver Surfer. That was bad. That only lasted like 20 minutes. I could not do it for very long. It was really fun, but it was bad.
It was a lot of fun, for sure.
I'm pretty sure that it's gonna be the most clipped thing ever on my channel. It was really out there, man.
It's literally ingrained into my brain.
Yeah, it was. Some people actually told me it was traumatic. All right, guys, let me know what you think in the comment section. And as always, thanks for watching. Keep on gaming, but they can still hear you.
They can still hear me.
Yeah, you're still here. I'm still here. Why are you guys still here? You still here?
Why?
All right.
Why?
They're still here.
They're still here.
End the video.